In today's video, we'll be talking about how to prevent battery drain on your Android smartphone. If you enjoy mobile related content like this one, please subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on all the pro tips that I will be dropping in subsequent videos. Let's jump right. If you notice that your battery is draining quite quickly on your Android smartphone, the very first thing you want to do is to go to your settings and see which app or which process is consuming your battery. So to do that, you go to settings. Of course, we're in settings already. You can tap on either battery or power depending on what your own phone's user interface says. But in my own, I'm going to tap on Battery Lab. You tap on that. You go to battery usage. Once you tap on that, it gives you a list of all the apps that have been making use of or draining your battery. Now, if you notice that there is an app here called Forest and it has taken away 3% of my battery. And of course, this is an app that I do not use. So to prevent this from happening, apps that you do not use draining your battery, you can either tap on it. Once you tap on the app, it's going to take you to where you can either force stop the app or you can uninstall. In this case, since it is an app that I do not use and it is draining my battery, so I'm just going to uninstall it so that next time there will be no need for that app to consume my battery anymore. Another thing that drains batteries a lot in Android smartphones is widgets. You know, sometimes we have weather widgets, we have calendar, we have even social media widgets that we have on our home pages. And some of them continuously maintain an internet connection and keeps downloading updates for you. If you look at it and you realize that the widgets are consuming lots of battery, you can remove them from your home page at least to solve that particular problem of battery life. Sometimes when on transit, that is when you are traveling, you might notice that there are some areas where you have low signal strength. And because of that, your phone is always trying to contact the next cell phone tower, trying to establish connection to the next cell phone tower, and in the process, it drains your batteries. If you notice that you are having low signal strength, that would be a good time for you to switch your phone to airplane mode until you get to a place that you are confident that the network there is strong enough to avoid your device always trying to establish contact with a cell tower that will provide it with better network coverage. Still on the issue of airplane mode, when you are going to bed and when you are at least sure to a certain amount that you may not be receiving calls, you can either switch off your device to save battery, or you can set your device to be in airplane mode, at least to be sure that the internet connection that would have been on and gone ahead to drain your battery will be turned off throughout the night, so that by the time you wake up in the morning, you will still wake up to a decent amount of battery life left so you can continue your day. Another thing that I've noticed that drains lots of battery is notifications, because most times notifications come in and it wakes the device up, and the frequency at which the device wakes up determines the amount of battery life that will be drained in the process. When notifications are not necessary, please turn them off, because where there are no notifications, your device does not wake up as many times as it would have woken up if you had notification turned on. So limit the amount of notifications. Only the important ones should be turned on to avoid unnecessarily waking up the device when it could have been asleep and idle. Another thing you need to consider is there are so many radios on your device. You have the Bluetooth radio, you have the GPS, you have the network connection, etc. So when you are not making use of all these radios, you need to turn them off, because as they stay on, the device they are controlling actually consumes battery. It may not be much, but it does consume battery. Things like location, that's the GPS sensor, and the Bluetooth sensor, you need to turn them off when you are sure that you do not need them. Now, another very important one, that is battery saving mode. When you are in a critical situation, maybe your battery is low and you just want to sustain it a little bit for it to stay for a few more minutes or hours, you can turn on battery saving mode. And most phones request that you turn it on once it is about 15% or 10%, or depending on the battery level that you consider an emergency. So whenever you are sure that you do not need to actively use your device, you can turn on battery saving mode. By turning on battery saving mode, it does quite a few optimizations at the background to ensure that your battery lasts a little bit longer. Now, a new feature that is being introduced in most modern smartphones, that's dark mode. Now, if any app that you can live with using it in dark mode, that helps actually, especially if your device has an AMOLED screen. That means that when you are using dark mode, some of the pixels on your screen are actually turned off and reduces the amount of battery your screen consumes even when the screen is on. So if your device has an AMOLED screen, it would be advisable for you to turn on dark mode so that you can reduce the amount of battery life that your screen is consuming when it is in use. I know there are some people who do not use adaptive brightness setting, but if you actually make use of the adaptive brightness, it cranks up the brightness when it is necessary depending on the amount of light in the surrounding environment, and it drops it to a manageable level when the surrounding environment is not that bright. So I would advise, instead of setting it manually, I would advise that you make use of adaptive brightness so that when you need the screen to be bright, it will be bright, and when you need it to be dim, it will be dim, and in the process is definitely going to save you some battery life. Now, if this video was useful to you, please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.